Good morning. I need to get the remote so I can just click it on. But today we are on 4-day and we're gonna go through the process of 4. So yesterday was 3-day, right? And that was all about harmonizing with the change. I had some things I wanted to say, but every time I get on camera, it just slips my mind. So bear with me as I try to pull back those thoughts. But first, we're gonna start off with I only can do one thing at a time. We're gonna start off with the themes of 4. So we have perimeters, borders, structures, boundaries, foundations. So basically structure, foundations, consciousness communicating its findings about its score sheet, the 3 triangle mirroring back to itself, so 2 triangles making a square, exploring the contrast, boundaries, I already said that, building a sturdy base to build your house on, which your house would be 5, exploring what behaviors honor you and what didn't, finding what works and what didn't, exploring what habits you want to keep or let go. So basically, how I was thinking about this morning is I need something to do with my hands. There we go. This morning was exploring the process. So 1, I wrote down the intentions, right? One day I wrote them down. 2, I feel like I was presented with a suggestion. And then 3, how to do something better. 3, I was presented with my old ways and the new way. And 4, I feel like I am examining the process of how to basically pick the new way of doing things. So I feel like today is all about examining the process. I feel like the theme is like, or the vibe of 4 is like that day before your midterm. So your pre-midterms, because tomorrow is midterms. And so I feel like today you're just really studying your study guide and studying your process and going in and seeing what you could keep in your process and what could you replace to make it more efficient. It's about efficiency. It's about just making sure you're taking the correct steps. Now, I know that sounds very rigid, but at the same time you're doing this process, you do not want to be too rigid on yourself, because there does have to be some form of surrendering here. Like, you can't control everything. You can't control all the situations that come to you. Sometimes your reactions are so deeply programmed that you're not even at that point to undo that. So some reactions may be very unconscious. Some reactions may be out of your control at this point in your life. So a lot of grace. So you want to be serious and be serious about getting your process efficient, but at the same time you want to give yourself grace. It's a lot of I don't want to say polarity, but it's kind of contradicting it's kind of contradicting, but no, but yes. So before I got on the camera, I had already started this process a little bit. I feel like I had been waking up and just immediately started to record because I wanted it to be authentic. But today I was like, well, I kind of abandoned my routine, which is, waking up, doing that whole bathroom process, brushing your teeth, flossing, washing my face. And that's not to say I came out here with stank breath, but y'all caught me on the wake up. So I did those things. I took care of myself first before I got up on here to talk. And also I did those things. I kind of skipped the process, or my process, so I could say my first thoughts, so my thoughts wouldn't leave my brain. But today I just trusted that when I got on camera, what I say is what needed to be said. And I was having like a bunch of like thoughts recently, like, oh, you need to hurry up because this thought is gonna this thought's gonna leave your brain very soon. ADHD things. And so I just like, okay, well, if it do, it do. And another thing I was doing was slowing down. I was bumping into a lot of things, and I noticed when I'm bumping into things that I'm not fully here. And so a lot of the theme of this morning was to slow down, examine the process, watch what you're doing, to take inventory of what you're doing. So you can make a mental note of, this process is what makes me feel good. This is what makes me feel good. And I was thinking about like this whole Cycles of Nine. It really, one, shows how my brain works, but two, like, soothes my brain in a way, because I'm a type of person to start on something and then kind of get lost in it. Like, I kind of just jump head first into something new rather than doing all these steps first, which is like creating the hypothesis, the theses, like creating the structure around it, like creating my thinking around it. Like, I'll figure all that out later. And so I feel like with this helps me step by step get to where I need to get to. So I'm not like knee deep in a new system or a new whatever, and then I panic because I feel lost because I didn't do the steps. If we're looking back at my intentions, or like even with my intentions, I'll set a new intention and then I'll try to keep going at it, and then I'll probably like will start to hyper focus on something else, and like I forget all about the intention. I feel like this process helps me not only stay with my intentions but embody my intentions, so I'm not just hopping around to different things and then I forget that I even said this, and then I don't really, I'm kind of running in place, if that makes sense. If I'm looking back at my intentions, like, yeah, so I feel like today would be the structure on how I want to start to move if I'm releasing my old ways. So now, what can I do to now support these new habits? And so like I was saying, like with today, or like even when I woke up earlier and I went back to sleep, but when I woke up, mind racing. So immediately I was just like, okay, well, I do feel a little helpless in this situation, but I do know that I can focus on my breath. So we're just going to do that until these thoughts go away, because I know they will go away, but this is all I can do right now. Usually I'm like combating them. Usually I'm like what do I want to say? Usually I'm like Lamaya. Putting up a positive thought to the negative thought. But that wasn't working. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going back to the basics. Just breathe. Breathe until you fall back to sleep. And like, side note, my cousin has it's a tip jar, but it's like a piece of merchandise from her old job that she no longer works at. At that job, it was a lot of drama going on, and it was one particular person that was on some witchcraft shit. And she had that tip jar in her, and she like decorated it. That's why she wanted to keep it. She had it in her room, and she wasn't really sleeping well, and she was like, it was just chaos. So she brought it out here. And like ever since she's brought it out here, I've kind of picked up on that energy. And she saged it, but like, I'm waking up anxious. I wasn't doing that. I was waking up peaceful. And so now, like, alongside me breathing, I'm thinking about things I need to do in order to clear my space, because I know I function on multiple planes of reality. Like, not only the physical plane, but on the spiritual plane, on the energetic plane as well. So I'm picking up on the more sensitive energies, or I'm more sensitive to fudge my nose. I'm more sensitive to things that are not there, energy that I cannot see. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna pull out the sacred ritual, and we're gonna pull out the frankincense. Alongside, once those go out, I'm about to light 2 more. We got the Om, and we got the Joy. Because I'm not finna sit around and play around with that energy, or just let myself subject myself to it because I feel hopeless. Like, no, we're gonna think of some strategies to combat this, and that's kind of the energy of 4. And this is not to say I only think like this on this particular day. This is just this type of action, this type of, like, I'm presented with something, and then I think of a way to get at that energy strategically, or remove myself, or change it, or transmute it to something else, change it. That's the energy of 4. And so I did a little some of that yesterday, where it was like, I don't feel like cooking, but I know that will make me feel better. So I was just like, I had to mentally prepare myself to go cook. That, I feel like that's the energy of 4. And so I ended up going back to sleep, and then woke up, did what I did my routine, and then came back out here to talk to y'all and light my incense, because the energy is present, and I'm not fucking with that energy. And even if it's all in my head, I'm still not fucking with that energy. So something needs to be done in order to change what's going on. Is there anything else I want to say? No, 4 is just about strategic planning, strategic going over what I've already done, seeing if there's any room to, like, improve, make better, so I can prepare myself for 5, which is change, which is some type of transformation on like any type of scale, whether it's grand, whether it's small. I know it's coming, happens every 5 day, so I know the energy is going to come. So prepare for that. At the same time, not drive myself nuts about not being a perfectionist, and driving myself nuts about this process. Finding the balance within having the confidence that I will succeed, because I will, and strategically planning to succeed. Now, I can't strategically plan for a future I haven't lived yet. So all I can do is plan for how I will conduct myself, or plan for how I will conduct myself when energy is presented to me. So, for example, some of those things could be making sure that I'm breathing, and not breathing, because I will hold my breath. And sometimes I won't even peep that I'm holding my breath, especially when I get nervous or when I get anxious. Making sure I'm keeping my energy clear, like right now. Making sure that my mind is not overwhelmed, or if it is, know the steps how to undo that. Just making sure all my ducks are in a row as far as like my energy center. If there is any like lingering chores I need to do, go ahead and do that. Like today, I have a therapy appointment. That's strategic within itself, because I'm strategizing. I'm making a strategy for my thoughts, or I'm making a strategy for the situations that I've been presented with. And from being successful with strategizing those, I can take some of those, take some of that, take some of those things I did in those and apply it to others. Another example is I mentioned that I got confronted yesterday. I took time to respond because I didn't want to. That's not something I wanted to act impulsive on, and I can see that's a different. I can see I'm going off a little, but I'll bring it back full circle. I didn't want to use my first thought because I can see that would have been impulsive. I'm starting to also see the difference between being impulsive and using my first thought. And also, my body wanted me to wait to respond to that. So I did. And that was a first thought. I feel like me responding immediately would have been impulsive. But when I did respond, I was able to, like I said yesterday, put a string of words together that conveyed how I feel, and that didn't really leave no room for assumption. So I did just that, and it went smoother than I anticipated. I thought I was going to be getting asked, like, well, why? Well, this, and well, what about when you do X, Y, and Z? So I faced another fear because confrontation makes me anxious for that very reason, because people don't really listen to what I say initially. They kind of respond with how what I say made them feel. And I'm guilty of this too, but yeah, that's kind of why, like, confrontation makes me weary, because it just goes into a whole, like, well, why? Well, what about when you do it? Well, they kind of just shift that initial energy back onto me, and I get nowhere with that. So I didn't abduct. I didn't go into that with, like, previous fears of how I think it's going to go. So, I'm proud of that. Is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, today is just gonna be like a steady prep before midterms, and making sure that, like, I'm good with my intentions, or I'm aligned with them, and my processes are aligned with them too, and, like, how just I move in my everyday life is, like, lining up with my intentions, and my inner life, and my inner dialogue, and my inner energy is also aligning up with this process too. I think I said everything. If I didn't, it's not coming to my brain right this second, but I mean, I have all day to talk. I think I'm gonna pause it here for now. I'll update y'all later. Okay, now I'm gonna upload for 4. We're back with an update. Man, after I done said we're going to take it slow, I caught myself moving fast and ended up deleting the footage for 3 days. There wasn't enough space in my phone to upload the footage from one day. I mean, to upload it from iMovie to my phone, so I went ahead and cleared up space, not realizing that if I delete footage from my phone, it's going to translate to iMovie because I haven't exported it yet. And I probably did the same for like 1 and 2 days, but I already uploaded them to YouTube, so I'm not tripping that much. But man, I just caught, like, this is what I mean about, like, having the intention, yes, but still being conscious through the process of executing that intention. But I'm not gonna beat myself up. It is what it is. I'll keep moving forward. I was able to recall the major events that the themes of what I wanted to put out. And I was able to recall everything I wanted to say. The only thing I couldn't recall or recreate was the vulnerability I expressed during. But it's okay. because part of me is like, I didn't really want to be that vulnerable on the internet anyway. I know I'm supposed to keep it raw and real, but I got a little bit too vulnerable as far as like talking about my situations with real life people in my real life, and they can go back and watch and be like, why would you say this? Why would you put like this much of your business on the internet? But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Now that I just did that, I gotta go get ready for therapy and talk to her about my findings and things I want to talk to her about. But I'm going to keep this lesson in the back of my head for the remainder of the day. Not as to beat myself up, but as to take things slow and be aware of what I'm doing as I'm doing it. That is hard, but nevertheless, we will prevail. I want to beat myself up. I do, but I'm not. Is there anything else I want to say? No. All right. Well, I'll update y'all later. So I'm back from my therapy appointment. It went well. I told her I did that thing again where I book appointment in the middle of my emotional reaction, and then I kind of solve it, and then I go to her to tell her the aftermath. But nevertheless, it was really good. I had really good insight. We just bounced ideas off one another. I really like her as a therapist. She's really cool. After that, I went to the library, finished my vision board, so now it's complete. Now I can hang it up on the wall and forget about it, so it can talk to my subconscious. And that way everything will come into fruition that's on this board. Right now, so the skate community I found, they have events Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So had some yesterday, there's something today, there's something tomorrow. I just repeated myself. But today is like a dance party type thing, so I'm gonna go to that. It's from 6 to 9. So I'm about to straighten up my room. Because if I just change my clothes, the room's dirty to me. So straighten it up, pick up my clothes off the floor. I got a cheese Danish in the oven, about to eat that. I'm gonna eat my vegetables before I leave, so I won't be hungry. And then I'm gonna put on another cute outfit. I'm so sick. The video I even took of myself last night skating, I deleted that. But I've been working on moving with intention. Like, even if I'm walking fast, I'm paying attention to everything that I'm doing. It's hard, but I'm doing it. But I want to look cute again tonight. Yes, I'm going to look cute again. Do my hair. Put some lotion on my face. Put some lip gloss on. Put on my cute jeans. Put on a cute top. And we going to skate backwards all night. But yeah, that's really it. As far as inner insight, I'm just moving slow today. I'm just moving with focus today. That's really all I'm doing. I'm not really mad about the footage no more. It is what it is. It's just me being a goof. In therapy, we talked about we ended it off. I'm not gonna go in deep what we talked about in therapy, but we ended it off with like, what are your goals for today? And I want to continue to keep facing my fears, continue to keep finding and taking those openings, moving with intention, and taking things slow. I think I said more, but that's all I got for right now. That's all I can remember. And yeah, today's gonna be a good day. This might be a short one, just cause I'm like streamlining my focus into everything that I'm doing. And outside of the insight I've already said, I don't really have more insight to contribute. But there might be more new insight to contribute. But I'm not gonna say that because it's the middle of the day. So I'll just update y'all when I have some. So I was checking back later. I just want to get on here and talk to y'all before I head out. But I'm starting to realize I'm sitting on my picture. I'm starting to re-realize the beauty in taking your time. And I'm starting to re-realize the fun I have when I take my time getting ready, preparing myself, and just, I'm gonna compare it to the analogy of painting the picture, but taking like inventory of each stroke you make toward the picture, taking notice, taking like close attention at each stroke. Like each stroke is very detailed. And just like, I don't know, I feel good today. I feel good taking my time today. Usually I feel panicky and it's like, I need to get going. I'm gonna be late. But I'm never late. What did Sir say? I may not be on time, but I'm never late. Okay? So, yeah, I just want to get on here and really just share how I feel right now. I feel pretty good. Took my time getting ready. I'm about to go to the skate party. I feel good. I look good. You can see I'm glowing. Look at my hair. She's cute. I would show you my pants. I'm not gonna do all that. But my pants, I have on some bell bottom, like flare jeans that hug me, and there's rips all down the back. There, she's cute. I'm gonna try to get some pictures tonight, but who knows? I'll be living in the moment. I don't even be capturing my pictures no more. You gotta see my outfits in real life. And yeah, it's just the beauty of taking my time today. I'm starting to like find her again. Like I lost her for a long time. I used to like when I would go to the clubs and stuff, and I would start getting ready before like a few hours before the time. I found real joy in like, that was cute right there. I don't know which one it was. It was this one. But it's not though, but it is. Whatever. I found joy in taking my time and getting ready and making sure I feel good, I look good, I smell good, and like all of that. And the type of situations I would attract when I did that showed rather than I rushed and go to the club. I don't be at the clubs no more. Trust, I want to get back outside. I'm thinking about going on Friday because, like, man, it was a good time at the clubs. I had a good time. And just even for that, I mean, that's a good example too. When I was at the clubs, like really being in the moment and not trying to rush an experience, just experience the experience. And that's what I'm being called. That's what I feel like I'm being called to today, is to not rush the experience. I keep referring to this because that shit was crazy. Ever since I deleted all that footage, that was a lesson with Force energy written all over it. Ever since then, I said, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna take this serious. I'm gonna take my time. I'm not gonna lollygag at all. My head's gonna be on my shoulders all day, 24/7. So yeah, I just want to come on here and share that before I head out. Alright, I'll update y'all later. Hello, and we're back right just before 12 o'clock for the nightly cap, for the closing statements. What did I just say? But I didn't just get back in, but I'm back from my skating, and it was a really good time. But if we're staying on the theme of 4, these are some examples from my night that I believe that just shown the theme of 4. So when I was on my way, 1, I didn't rush. I did not rush at all. When I left the house is when I left the house. And the main thing I kept thinking is what I said before I did my last walk, is I may not be on time, but I'm never late. And so I was just skating along, doing my thing, enjoying my time. I wasn't thinking about, oh my God, I need to be there. And I wasn't having that inner dialogue of like, we need to hurry up so we can get there. Before I got on BART, this man stopped me, not talking about nothing. And as I was talking to him, I wasn't really like, I need to go, like, you're wasting my time, or like, on some like, I need to go. Like at first, admittedly, I was like, you know, I gotta go. Like, what's up? Cause it's yes, thanks. It's it's I don't want to say it's a man, but like he was trying to get at me, so I'm like, all right, what's up? I have to go. But like he was talking to me, and he was, like I said, not talking about nothing. He was damn near insulting my hair, damn near telling me what I gotta do with my hair. That's why I say he ain't talking about nothing. But like I just let him ramble, and then after I found my opening, I was like, all right, well, I gotta go, so I'll catch you later. And as soon as I got up to the platform, my train was right there, and I was like, that's what I'm talking about. And then just at the I went to an event called Panther Skate, and I was just words. I went to an event called Panther Skate, and the event is a skate party essentially. Something I noticed alongside just taking my time and just being on my own time, whenever I'm around new people, people who are are better skilled at something than I'm skilled, and they're where I want to be. And this is not a jealousy thing, and this is an inner dialogue thing. But I've noticed my first thought, my first thought is always like putting me down, say, cause they're better, and like I should be there, and like just a compare thing. Today, I did not do that, and like it was really cool to like witness that myself not do that. Instead of comparing, I just enjoyed it for what it was, and like enjoyed what I was seeing, enjoyed seeing the talent, enjoy people having fun, enjoy people like showing off their skills and stuff. In the back of my head, I was like, I'm gonna get there one day. It wasn't on some like I should be there, or that should be me, or like dang, I wish I could do that, or am I ever gonna be able to be this good? And like I know how I'm thinking now should be like normal, like, well, Lamar, you shouldn't compare. Yes, yes, yes. But we're building our confidence up from scratch. So some things that I'm letting go of, it should have never been there, yes, but it was here, and it had to be let go of, and we're here now. But yeah, I was just like, it was cool to see like that words. It was cool to see that I did not do that no more. And like I'm really proud of myself for not doing that, cuz like that compare, it was subconscious too. Like I wouldn't be going in consciously talking about something. I should be able to do that. The thought would creep up on me as I'm watching them do that. Like I'm enjoying what I'm watching, but it's like that judge in the back of my brain saying, you, this should be you, or like only if you could do that, or like, damn, are you ever gonna be as good? Yes, you can catch my drift. So as I was skating just through the night, I was really on my own time, not trying to like impress nobody, not trying to like underdo anything. Like at some points where I didn't want to hear the music that was playing, I put on my own headphones and was just skating to the own beat of my drum, skating to the beat of my drum, and like that was so refreshing to do. I don't want to say I've never done that before, but if I have, it's been a long time to where I just was completely in my own element, not worried about what other people may be thinking of me, or worried about other people's perception of me. So I do like how this 4 day went. It was real like strategic. It was real like I'm watching myself do the process. I'm watching myself take the individual steps to get to where I need to go to. And I'm watching myself be in my own element to see how I'm functioning, moving towards like the overall intentions of this week. I would say for the past couple of days, I have been moving to the beat of my own drum. Even when like talking to people, I don't dim myself, and like I'm starting to say I don't do that no more. where did this change come from? I guess from the intentional, like me facing my fears yesterday, it allowed me to just be me, which that was a fear. Be me amongst other people. That was a fear. So I guess from facing my fears yesterday, I've subconsciously, like I said I was, subconsciously I've unlocked new pathways to get new situations to also face my fears. So it was real fun. The event was fun overall, but I just, if I'm talking about the theme before, like I really just existed instead of that negative ass voice in the back of my head telling me what I should and should do, or telling me how I should and shouldn't be. And man, I want this energy to continue. I do. Because it's really refreshing. It's really, really, really freaking refreshing. But yeah, that was 4 day. I'm trying to think of like more examples of like how I was able to strategically go about things. Oh, when I was coming back home from the party, I had to catch bar back home. I was like skating on the platform, just back and forth, listening to my own music. Usually when people look at me, I'll like wither, like I'll kind of like, ooh, sorry for being in a nuance, inconvenience. But no, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna skate on the platform. Like, I'm gonna do my little tricks. I'm gonna like practice what I did there. Like, I'm gonna just vibe out. And I really was just existing in my own element. And that was the theme of the night today, was just being patient enough to let myself open up and watching my own process. Because like I noticed even with skating at the event, I have to warm up. Like I can't just go into my element just off the rip. I have to warm up, and I'm noticing that now, and I'm not forcing myself to be warmed up before I can get warmed up. And that was another way I watched my process. I'm like, okay, now I know I can't just like dive into this head first. Like I have to go slow first, and then gradually as time goes on, my legs will warm up. I'll pick up speed. I'll be able to like move my body more freely. Before, I was like that negative voice again. Why can I not, like, what's wrong with me? Why can I not skate as good as I could if I had already been skating like 40 minutes or so? Why is that not version of me not out? And I just started, like, is there something wrong with me? Why I'm not picking up speed? That nagging voice sounds crazy. Now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds insane. But like, imagine if it's consistent, it will get to you. It will get to you. It would get to you. But watching that process, I'm like, okay, well, this is my new process now. This is how I have to go about skating now. Like, and even I was learning new tricks, and I was picking them up faster than I would if I on other times, because I was too busy comparing myself. This time I was like, okay, well, let me just try it. Sometimes I'll be hesitant to try out, and like there'll be people line dancing. I'll be hesitant to try it out because I would say I'm not gonna get it. So what's the point of even trying? Facing internal fears today, and facing fears with how I present myself to the world and how I just show up. The negative voice in my head convinced me that I'm too strange to be myself in front of people, and they wouldn't like that. I said, never mind all that today. And I just tried it out. I said, okay, well, let me stop like looking at people to see the reaction to me, and let me just focus on my own energy and see what happens. See what happens from that. Y'all, I know how crazy this sounds. Trust. I know. This is why I'm working on undoing all of this so I can be, I don't want to say normal, but be free from this chokehold that this negative voice inside my head had me in. But if I don't want to go, oh yeah, at the platform I was skating by myself. I wasn't worried about who was saying what, who was thinking what, who was like looking at me. I really didn't care. I was just skating and I was dancing. And like even when I was waiting for the bus, I was skating and dancing, like really just in my own element. Tomorrow, I would like to keep the same energy, just being in my own element, being in my own essence, and remaining in that, and not letting perceived judgment, which really is just my own, projecting out to other people saying that they're thinking about me, but I conjured this stuff, thought up on my own. Not letting perceived judgment knock me out of that. So I'm just extremely proud of myself, and I'm extremely like just glazing myself because I'm like, yeah, I did that. I did that. I did that. So yeah, that was my 4-day. Thank you for tuning in. As always, you have my gratitude up every day. Have a good night. Sleep tight. See y'all tomorrow.